From overcoming a rough childhood where he was forced to sue his own family, to beating those struggles and becoming a Fortnite millionaire, only to then struggle with addiction and allegedly scamming his own fans, resulting in him becoming one of the most controversial online creators in history. This is the rise and fall of MrFreshAsian. Harley Fresh Campbell was born on March 5th, 2002 in Australia, and at only 8 months old, the first hardship in his life would occur as his parents got divorced before he was even old enough to call them mom and dad. Because of this, Harley had to split his time equally between his mother's and father's households.
We're gonna get sad real quick. Parents divorced when I was 8 months old. Like, I would live 1 week at my dad's and 1 week at my mom's, and like both sides, completely opposite. It was just so different because I'd go to my dad's, rich guy, mansion, like a 28-acre property. My mum would be government housing, cockroach, infested house in Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt, for people that don't know, is a pretty low socioeconomic area in Australia. I think probably one of the lowest. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's not a great place.
On top of having to split his time between parents, which can be incredibly difficult, Fresh also had a ton of step-siblings to deal with.
I never really had a proper connection with my siblings, all step-siblings.
You have like 6, right? Or
Like, I've got 2 brothers on my mum's side, and then my dad, like 5 stepbrothers, 4 stepbrothers.
lost count.
Yeah, my dad's been around.
When you have this many siblings, I can imagine things get pretty crazy sometimes, and it must have been very hard for Fresh to get the attention that every kid needs. So instead of turning to his family or his parents, Fresh found solace in video games. He was introduced to gaming by one of his stepbrothers.
My dad's, I had a stepbrother that played games. Pretty much how I first got into it, and it was the same at my mum's as well. My stepbrother played games as well, and they were both playing TF2.
For those of you who might be a little too young to remember, Team Fortress 2 was like Fortnite before Fortnite existed. Everyone was playing it, and apparently Fresh's stepbrother was actually very good at the game.
On my dad's side, my stepbrother was like a professional demo man. Like, he played TF2 professionally.
The old Oz Fortress scene.
Yeah. And like, he was a really good jumper as well. And it's just like, ever since then, I always used to watch, and I just loved
Being the best.
Yeah. Like, just being able to just get good at a game.
After watching his brothers play, Fresh wanted to get involved, and he started gaming at just 5 years old.
I started playing like as soon as TF2 came out. That was like kindergarten. 2007, which is when I was in kindergarten.
But unfortunately, Fresh didn't have exactly the same sibling experience that many other people did. His step-siblings barely ever played with him. Things would get even worse as we found out that there was some abuse going on in Fresh's home, but we'll talk about that in just a minute.
At my dad's, I wasn't really able to play that much. My stepbrother there would let me play sometimes, like if he was going out or something. And then at my mum's, I would use her laptop. I still didn't really know about multiplayer, and I'd set up my own like bot lobbies in TF2. It's like creative in Fortnite at the moment. And I'd just sit there and just play by myself.
And unfortunately, Fresh's home life would only get worse before getting better. You see, Fresh really did not get along with his dad's new wife, which was his stepmom.
It's like I had 2 different
lives.
Yeah, no, literally 2 different lives.
Yeah.
At my dad's, just like, it's normal. I didn't really like it there. I had a stepmom there as well. She wasn't really the nicest person.
Evil stepmom.
Yeah, literally. Because my dad would work late. Just like stepmom, stepbrothers.
It's not
like,
a nice vibe.
Yeah, it just wasn't, like, I didn't really feel like I was a part of the family.
And like I said earlier, Fresh was being abused by one of his stepbrothers, and his mother would find out, and things would change forever.
My stepbrother at my dad's side was like, he was a very aggressive person, and it's like, we came back from a trip, and my mum saw like some bad bruises on me. Like, we went to the police station and sorted some stuff, and I've always wanted to move in with my mum, like move fully, but it's like I couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's
but then that became like a catalyst for it.
Yeah, so we went through like court. Like, court is scary.
Yeah.
It is scary. And yeah, after that, I just stopped talking to my dad. He like sided with my stepmom and my stepbrother and stuff. Like, he got them like private soliciting and like to go against me.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So I was like,
Following this situation, Fresh had to move in full-time with his mom, and because he was feeling a lot more isolated and didn't have as many siblings around, Fresh got even more into the gaming scene.
It was around that time when I fully moved in with my mum.
Yeah.
Like, I would be able to go into like a public match and I would always just be first.
Dominate.
As he got older, Fresh started to play other games like Minecraft.
My TF2 era was like, I was swapping between Minecraft as well. But it was the same in Minecraft. I was just a little damn sweat.
Yeah.
Like, I would play.
Sweat in Minecraft.
Oh, dude. Like, back then, it's like Hunger Games. Like,
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. There actually was some competitive Minecraft.
I don't know if, like, you know, Soup PvP.
Yeah. So you were just someone who, like, whenever you picked up a game, the driving force was to be the best.
And of course, CSGO.
So after, like, TF2, that's when I started getting to, like, more CS kind of games. Like CSS. I played a lot of CSS, CSGO, all that kind of stuff.
But the situation was that Fresh was different than your average kid. You see, he was good at gaming, like really, really good. And this was before all of the kid gaming legends that we have today. In Fortnite, for a lot of us, it's normal to see young players like Clicks get a really big start early on. But back then, if you sounded too young, you would be bullied out of the lobby and not allowed to play the game. It was really rough out there for us. So instead of staying in his private lobbies, Fresh started to go out to local LAN events out near his house.
Someone on my bus home, he was like another gamer as well. And he told me about these LANs that were like literally 15 minutes away from my home. And they happen like 4 times a year. And like, I just started going there. Like, I would bring my trash laptop and everyone would bring like their beast PCs and stuff.
Yeah.
And you would win still on your like
Yeah,
crappy
I would go
ass
there
setup?
and I'll just win. And that's how I got all my gear. Like, I would
'Cause
bring
you'd win
keyboards,
gear.
headsets, like mouse, and I
That's amazing.
would sell those and then
It's absolutely crazy that Fresh was destroying competitors that were sometimes double his age just playing on a laptop. It goes to show that no matter what setup you have, it all comes down to skill and hard work in the end. And although these LAN events were great for Fresh, these were not events that were nearly as big as we see today. Chances are that most of these events were hosted at local gaming stores, and Fresh definitely wasn't taking $3 million home like Booga did at the World Cup. At most, he was winning $100 or maybe a keyboard. And although it wasn't as glamorous as it is now back then to be a pro gamer, these small prizes were very helpful for Fresh at the start of his career. Coming from a struggling home, it was really good for the young Fresh to see some success in his life and to thrive at something when a lot of the time at home he was being put down by his siblings or his parents. Fresh continued to compete in esports at a local level until a new game came around that would completely change his life forever, and it's called Fortnite. Whether you love or hate it, Fortnite is one of the most influential games of our generation. But let's be real, if you're watching my channel, you probably love Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale was released in September of 2017, and it was an instant hit. It was fun, it was colorful, and most importantly, it was free.
Nick, what's the game called? It's called Fortnite. It's free.
For those of you who might be too young to remember, before Fortnite, you actually had to pay to play your video games. If you wanted to get the newest COD game, it would put you out $60 or $70 every single year. Anyways, when Fresh found the game of Fortnite, he fell in love. And just like in every other game Fresh played, he was not going to be settling for anything less than being the best.
So obviously I was grinding a lot when I started figuring out, I'm like, okay, so this might finally be the game where I commit and go like full professional.
Since he joined Fortnite Battle Royale a little bit after the launch, he was there way before any real esports community was made. But he could tell that this was the start of something big from very early on.
I was there for the first ever scrims. You know, I was looking for communities, like the community servers that people usually make. And I was there for the first scrims. We won, I think, every game from people I met on the stats leaderboard and through the Discord. Back then it was all like, oh, you have a KD role.
Really?
Right? And then
Okay.
on the Discord, it's like you have like 50 KD plus, and you have a role for like your KDs, and then you know who you want to play with and stuff. And through that, I met a few teammates that I liked playing with.
Because of big Discord servers, scrim chords, and Fortnite stat tracker, Fresh quickly made a name for himself in the Fortnite community. And at this point, he wasn't doing any sort of content creation at all. Just his numbers on the leaderboards would speak for themselves.
It was scrimming. I was basically first on all leaderboards, like solo, duos, squads, majority of my professional career in Fortnite, you know.
In early 2018, Fresh dropped out of school entirely, mostly to pursue trade school, but as Fortnite got more popular, he had a sneaking suspicion that he would want to focus more on gaming, and that meant no more school. Although he dropped out of school officially at 15 or 16, MrFreshAsian wasn't exactly a star student before that, and he'll tell you that himself.
You stopped going to school when you were 15?
Oh, earlier than that.
Really? What year?
I would say I was skipping school since like year 5.
Wow.
Fresh was starting to get a ton of attention from just his placements on Fortnite Tracker. It was almost a little bit of a mystery because most players that were that good were making some sort of content, and Fresh was just kind of a mystery. Many people wanted him to start creating content, however, so we could finally see gameplay through Fresh's POV. But there was only one problem. Fresh didn't really have the financial or emotional support from his parents in this situation, and he didn't have enough money to buy himself a gaming setup.
I've always wanted to be a streamer, but it was also really rough being in Mount Druitt. Like, there's no internet.
The internet,
like,
yeah. Australia
like
is so
you would know
backwards.
when I started streaming, I had to stream at 540p quality.
And
like-
even then, you could tell your internet was straining
No,
under
it
the
would
pressure.
crash constantly.
So instead of jumping right into streaming like he wanted to, he decided that he could just get a good enough setup where he could start a YouTube channel and record some of his gameplay. Because of this, we saw his first ever video posted on May 15th of 2018. The long-awaited video was a montage. Obviously, because literally every Fortnite YouTuber that I cover on here always starts with some random montage where they don't even talk. But Fresh's video was a little bit different. It wasn't just a bunch of clips edited together into an epic music montage. Instead, it was funny, well edited, and showed off that not only he had skills, but also a great personality that we would all eventually fall in love with. This was a great introduction to Fresh, and we still hadn't even met the guy yet. His first video currently sits at around 2.5 million views. That's insane for any first video, but especially a montage. With his eyes set on making it out of his destructive family situation, Fresh knew that he needed to double down on content because although competitive play offered chances to make money, the real money would be in streaming and YouTube. So with some of the money he had made from LANs, Fresh invested in a portable Wi-Fi router that could help his Wi-Fi just enough to help him stream. I mean, even with that extra boost, his stream quality was super low. Not to mention his internet would randomly drop off in the middle of the action, ending the stream randomly. Normally, this awful quality would be the death of a streamer. Nobody, including myself, likes to sit and watch some kid play Fortnite in 540p. But Fresh was different. I mean, he was so special at this game. He was also one of the first ever streamers who was actually really good at Fortnite. No offense, Ninja. So people sat through all the disruptions and pixelated footage just to see what the fuss was all about with this kid, MrFreshAsian. With all of this attention starting up with streaming and Fortnite trackers and YouTube, it was only a matter of time before Fresh got approached by an org. And on August 14th of 2018, Fresh would sign with the team Renegades. This again was still very early on in Fortnite's lifespan. The game had not even been out in the Battle Royale mode for over a year, and this was just one of the very few times that players had been signed to a team. However, as the game started to establish itself more into the esports space, this would be just the beginning for Fresh and many others. Shortly after signing with Renegades, Fresh was about to meet a group of fellow content creators that would change his life forever. And this group was known as Click. Lachlan, who would eventually become one of Fresh's best friends, and then one of his biggest enemies, which we'll talk about later, came across Fresh in a random public match, and he was absolutely destroyed by Fresh. You see, Lachlan was eliminated so hard that he had to reach out to this guy and find out who was responsible. Turns out that this would start a long-time friendship between the two creators. Fresh would be featured in a video on Lachlan's channel on September 30th of 2018. It was titled, "I challenged a pro player to a 1v1 in Fortnite," and it totally blew up, and the video is now sitting at 9 million views. Check it out.
You have a 70% win rate with 2,000 wins. That's not okay. How the f can you have a 70% win rate? You know what mine is? Mine's 4%. Mine's 4% win rate. Can you coach me? Can I get coaching?
Yeah, I could coach it. Yeah.
Following this introduction to Lachlan, he would go on to make content with other massive creators like Muselk and Laserbeam. He quickly became an active part of their Fortnite content powerhouse. They relied on Fresh to help them do well and get good content in videos. Because although Laser, Muselk, and Lachlan were really entertaining, let's just say they weren't the best at the game. And in return for Fresh helping them get wins, they brought a lot of extra eyes onto Fresh and his content. And each of Fresh's videos on YouTube got at least 1 million views, which is really insane for someone who was just starting on YouTube. And early that next year, in April of 2019, Fresh was able to hit a whopping 1 million subscribers, less than a year before he started making videos. Which reminds me, I am trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, and we're super close, so if you guys could hit that sub button, it would mean a lot. Anyways, this 1 million subscriber milestone was just in time for one of the biggest events in the history of Fortnite, the Fortnite World Cup. As you guys know from watching this channel, the Fortnite World Cup was a very big deal. Basically, this is the first time that Epic Games showed us how serious they were about pro Fortnite. We had had some summer and fall skirmishes, but this $30 million prize pool and a big old LAN in New York City showed that they really meant business. The public was given 10 weeks of qualifier rounds to see if they were good enough to go all the way to New York, and over 40 million people competed for a chance to win a piece of that 30 million prize pool. And this included MrFreshAsian. Fresh decided that he was going to duo with Lachlan. And as you guys know, Lachlan isn't exactly a competitive player. He's certainly better than me, but Fortnite is his job, so I would expect nonetheless. However, he wasn't known for being on top of the leaderboards like Fresh was. Although this might not have been the best decision for Fresh from a competitive perspective if he wanted to go to the World Cup, it was certainly entertaining.
People on top of drone.
Like, we could. No.
Oh my god, a headshot sniped him! Let's go! 19 elims! What a fat game! Hit the follow button right now!
And Fresh knew that this entertainment factor that was helping him grow on social media would be much more valuable than any prize he could win at the World Cup. However, regardless of all these facts, the team did way better than expected in the qualifiers. And in Week 8, the two looked like they were ready to make their World Cup dream a reality. They had 91 points going into their final game. But tragedy struck when Fortnite simply didn't put them into another game.
Come on,
Epic
dude, come on.
Games! Epic!
We don't have tank games.
Games! Ah! Ah! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
This was a huge letdown. I mean, Fresh had gone so far in his career, only to duo with somebody who nobody thought he could qualify with, just to prove everybody wrong and then get screwed over by Epic. The first place team, Jinx and Shy, had 110 points. And who knows what would have happened if Fresh and Lachlan got into their final game. But if you're like me and many other people in the community, we're pretty sure that they would have gotten the 20 points they needed to make it to the World Cup. Although Fresh wasn't able to compete in the esports side of the World Cup, he did actually end up getting invited to New York anyway because they had a Pro-Am celebrity game before the World Cup.
It's Desmond Chiang and MrFreshAsian. And we have a lot to say about MrFreshAsian because he is somebody that participated in almost all the World Cup qualifiers and had just a fun time doing it and really placed highly in some of them too.
Yes, and he was screaming it the entire time.
The team placed 15th out of 50 and got to send $20,000 to a charity of their choice. So even though he didn't get to play on the main stage, I know that Fresh had a great time and it was super cool for him to get to fly all the way to New York City. Following the World Cup, Fresh made the decision to really buckle down and focus on content creation. He would stream and record videos every single day, and still spare time to appear in other people's channels as well. He would occasionally participate in tournaments too, but that certainly wasn't his focus. His new friends Laser, Lachlan, and Muselk all tried to help him as much as they could, occasionally offering old gear, housing, and internet access for the teenager who, although was doing great, still wasn't making a ton of money. And all this help overall made Fresh's content a lot better. It was early in 2020 that Fresh started to change all of his socials to Fresh, instead of his previously more well-known name, MrFreshAsian. Unfortunately, as we all know, in March of 2020, the world was struck with a once-in-a-lifetime plague called COVID. Everyone had to shelter in their homes to avoid getting sick. And although this was incredibly traumatizing for almost everybody, us gamers sort of thrived in this situation. It's not like I was going outside anyway. People had nothing else to do other than watch that Tiger King documentary, make food, and game, of course. Gaming saw an unprecedented rise in players, and content creators were getting more viewers than ever before. And now that Fresh was making better content, combined with the COVID crisis, was the perfect storm for building one of the biggest Fortnite channels that we have ever seen. And on June 13th of that same year, Fresh would hit 5 million subscribers.
What's up, guys? Yes, we have hit 5 million subs on YouTube.
Only 2 months later, he would hit 6 million subscribers.
What's up, guys? Yes, 6 million subscribers. That is a lot of people.
And then only 4 months later, in December of 2020, he would hit 7 million subscribers.
Dad. What? I got 7 million subs.
Oh, you think I give a sh**?
That amount of growth is wild for anybody. But remember that Fresh is only 18 years old at this time. But unfortunately, this growth was hard to keep up. As COVID started to die down, people had to go back to work and school, and nobody could just sit around watching other people play video games all day. And unfortunately, as time went on, it became clear that YouTube was no longer Fresh's main focus. Fresh streamed every single day in 2020 and well into 2021, only missing an occasional day or two here and there. However, on August 29th of 2021, we would see the very last stream of MrFreshAsian that would begin an epic downfall. Although he was still uploading to YouTube on a semi-regular basis, it seemed pretty clear to viewers that Fresh was busy outside of content creation. I mean, it wasn't all bad at first. He even released his own video game with a longtime friend, Laserbeam.
G'day. Yeah, I'm making a game. World Boss. So Fresh and myself have teamed up with developers to make a game. Hopefully this will make Fresh upload.
Early access for that game released on November 25th, 2022 with very mixed reviews. But hey, most people can't say that they've made a video game before, so that's pretty cool. However, because of this and other factors, videos slowed down until Fresh eventually disappeared for a whole 7 months. Keep in mind, this is somebody who is streaming regularly every single day for the entire year beforehand, claiming that he was much healthier and in a better place, and he would explain where he's been in his new video, I'm Back.
What's up, everybody? I am finally back. Yes, I am alive. Yes, I haven't uploaded in 7 months. And yes, this is my first video with Facecam, and today we're jumping into Fortnite for the first time in half a year. Last time I played, it was Chapter 3, Season 2, and as I'm sure you guys know, Chapter 4 has already come out like a week ago. Before we jump in, I did want to just have a quick chat to you guys, as obviously, I did kind of just disappear from everything, and I'm sorry I never officially told you guys what I was doing, but to be honest, I didn't even know my own plan. At the time, I had a lot of things going on in the real world. I went from uploading every single day to just a couple times a week. There was barely any good content anymore, so that's when I thought it was time to just take a short break to refresh my brain. Now, trust me, I am very, very thankful to be where I'm at 20 years old, but from this short break, I really realized how badly I've been treating my body basically my whole life.
I've always set aside my health to just focus on what I've been doing, and look, there's no point in any of this if my bones turn into damn dust in a few years. Anyways, all of a sudden, half a year later, I have basically started a new life. It took a while, but I'm feeling 100 times healthier. I've moved states, I've touched grass. Laserbeam and I's game, Well Boss, has officially released on Steam, and I'm excited to get back into content.
But unfortunately, unlike what the title said, Fresh really wasn't back. He only put out 4 more videos after that one before officially disappearing on March 10th of 2023. Since that fateful day last year, Fresh has been nowhere to be found in the Fortnite community, at least not on his own channels. Lachlan actually asked Fresh why he quit Fortnite, and he had this to say.
Why'd you quit Fortnite? Why'd you quit?
I don't play any games anymore, and you know exactly why.
Wait, how are you younger than me and you're the one that stopped playing games?
So apparently, Fresh had better things to do than just playing Fortnite. Many people think it's an incredibly weird thing to say, considering he spent so much time and really got his start in life from Fortnite. And others also had multiple theories why Fresh actually quit. But the most obvious and well-respected theory is that he decided to go full-time crypto bro on Twitter. However, other people have speculated that there was some sort of drama in Fresh's friend group. A Twitter user named I'm Boggles also accused Fresh of having a gambling addiction, being a bad boyfriend, and even threatening to sue Lachlan, Laserbeam, and Muselk. Although these are just accusations and I don't have anything that I can show to confirm these, I find it very interesting that these guys were all best friends, and now they aren't ever seen together anymore. The same user would later go on to accuse Fresh of owning a crypto casino with a shady businessman, and also being an all-around scammer. If this was true, which I'm not saying it is, this would be a massive issue considering that all of Fresh's viewers are just children and are obviously not old enough to gamble. Of course, like I said, this is all alleged, and I don't want to call out Fresh for something he didn't do. I'm just trying to clear up in my own head all of these allegations and find out which ones are true. It's clear that Fresh has other things he wants to focus on other than Fortnite, and I'm certainly not going to tell him to come back. He should do whatever he wants with his life. So that being said, whatever Fresh is up to nowadays, I genuinely hope he's doing well, considering his struggles growing up and mental health issues and addiction are very, very serious. I genuinely hope nothing but the best for him. But if anybody knows what happened to MrFreshAsian, comment down below where you've seen him recently. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one, and watch this video right here on your screen if you haven't seen it yet.